We're in the middle of June, the middle of the month, and I have new games for you guys. Games that are just dropping right now on mobile, ones that you're not going to want to miss, and some that are maybe just a little bit goofy that you could have some fun playing. We did the internet search, we found a bunch of games, tested out a bunch of them, and now could bring them here to you. By the end of this video, if you found it useful, make sure you subscribe to the channel, but let's dive into the top 10 or maybe even 15 mobile games right now in the middle of June 2023. The first one on today's list, and the one that I am the most excited about, is Undawn. Yes, I've featured it here on the channel before. This is an open world survival game. You're basically living in a post-apocalyptic world, and you have to find your way through a zombie infiltrated world. You may notice the game looks a lot like PUBG, and it's actually made by the same developers, but this one is completely about survival. You have to hunt your food. You have to build your shelter. Heck, you even need to use the bathroom to be happy and to really sustain life inside of this game. I anticipate this is going to be one of the bigger games in this year on mobile, and I'm actually thinking about playing it a little bit on this channel as well as on my Echo Gaming Diablo channel. Let me know if you want to see some of those videos. Next, we have a Zeta Prophecy, which is a role-playing game. It's a turn-based strategy style game. I like this one because the graphics are on point. The gameplay is very similar to what we know and love in the genre, and I actually like the behind the character look that you have in this game. Typically, you get to see things from the side, but here you are at the back of all of your fighters, fighting the enemies that are ahead of you. Really nice game here, super fun, easy to control, and a lot of joy when you win. Next up, we have Panzer Dogs, and this one is definitely a casual style game. Here you're going to be rolling around as tanks and engaging in some basic combat. Very fun game, nothing too crazy, but it's something that could really kill some time and then be an enjoyable thing when you just have a few minutes to play on your phone. This is not groundbreaking. This is not the biggest, most best game of 2023, but it's definitely a fun one and it can kill some time for you. That's really what it's made for. The era of Overman. We're looking at another RPG style game. This one gives you a little bit of cheese when we're looking at the gameplay itself, but it's a decent game. Yeah, it gives you some fun along the way as you get encountered or attacked by different enemies. But really, it's a very surface style game. If you're looking for something that doesn't take a lot of your time, that's pretty easy to grind through, this could be a great option for you. If you're looking for something that's going to be life-changing, go play Undawn. Next up is Shark Rage, and we all know Hungry Shark Revolution. This is a very similar style game with some different looks. You have a third-person view here as you are an angry shark trying to take down anything in your path. Make sure you stay alive by eating some food. And what is this? Sharks on land. This is when the world comes to an end. But you get the idea of what this game has to offer. It's a survival style shark game where your shark is just completely insane, completely unrealistic, and completely fun. This is definitely a great time killer for people that are young and for the kiddies. Street Fighter Shadow Duel. We have a fighting game here. It's utilizing the IP name that we all know and love, but it's not actually that game now, is it? The characters look similar to the ones that you know from Street Fighter games, but that is not this game. This is a fun, basic, simple style fighter that you can play if you want to take on enemies as they encroach on your space, but you're definitely going to find a better experience playing something like a regular Street Fighter game, let's say. Definitely something fun, a time killer for sure. Toilet Monster Survival. Those characters look a lot like the Among Us characters, don't they? And you're being attacked by actual toilets. This is a goofy game. You ride on a train, you shoot toilets as they come at you, as well as some other enemies, and you upgrade your weapons and get rewards as you progress through the game. I think it's very odd how they named it after toilets. Maybe they were thinking that this was a nice toilet games, and when you needed to take a few minutes in the John, you could play this one. Maybe that's the cutesiness behind it. With that being said, it's got some fun gameplay. It's a nice style where you're going to get harder enemies that come at you as you go on, and your weapon's going to get stronger to help protect against those enemies. It's fun, seems to bite off of a bunch of games along the way, but it's something that you'll enjoy for the short time ahead. What is the latest, the newest game that you've recently downloaded on your phone? Let me know in the comments below. Legendary Sword is an adventure, fun, bullet hell kind of survival game like many we've seen around before, but this one is in a pixelated world with very different but very cool attacks as you encroach on enemies that come at you. It's a fun game, a casual one. I think you'd enjoy this one as well. New Spirits is an action game. It's one where you are going to be running down the road and trying to survive as long as you can. Very simple style game, but it's also a pretty nice looking game. I actually love the graphics that this game has to offer. I think that it's a gameplay style that we've seen before and that we're familiar with, but it's one that we all enjoy and we'll find ourselves continuously playing to see if we can beat our previous records. As you can see, you get points as you go further along on the map, and you have your jump and slide mechanics. Super nice graphics, super fun game, casual yet fun, worth downloading. Demon Hunt Knights, the game where you have multiple characters to choose from, an action style game that is another one of those bullet hell survival style games. Go through an RPG style world as tons of enemies come at you, and you get to choose the heroes that you use that have different types of weapons that you can equip with each of those heroes. It's fun, the progression is fast, and it's really cool to build out your builds differently every single time and to see how long you can survive. Neato Racing Manager, definitely an easier, more basic style racing game here, and again, you're playing as more of a manager than a racer yourself, but it's really cool. You get to make your vehicles, upgrade them along the way, and race against others. It's a nice casual style racer that's in a vertical format, which even lends itself better towards the casual style gameplay. Zombie City Smash Squad. Try to survive the city streets with your pixelated characters, basic weapons, and zombies. You have wrestlers, arsenals of weapons with other characters, and melee weapons along the way. Definitely a good mixture of games that you've seen before. Reminds me of a Streets of Rage style game here, and graphics that definitely come from the same era. Casual yet fun. Next we have Last While Purges. This is another one of those turn-based style strategy games, your AFK style games. This one is mediocre at best. I would think twice before I downloaded this one over some of the other games on the list, but maybe you're into something like this. And if you are, well, this one's new and you could check it out if you like. Blade Legends. Sure, this is a vertical style AFK battler that's going to allow you to progress through different stages against different enemies with different characters that you progress along the way. We know this gameplay style. We see and have played things like this before. This is just another rendition of that style game. There are others in the genre which I'd probably prefer to play, but this is one of the newer ones that's just launched, and maybe it will grow over time, maybe it won't. We'll see if you guys enjoy it, because that can help determine those outcomes. Tales of Dragon. This is a fantasy style RPG game with a wide open, massive multiplayer online world. This one here definitely offers a gameplay style that's very cartoony looking, very childish looking, but at the same time very cute, and it seems like a good time, a fun time to play. It's one that you have a nice option, but there's a lot of other games in this genre. But if you're a fan of the MMORPG or MMORPG style games, this could be one that you try out. Sure, why not? Teleportal 2. It seems that this one is biting off of the game Portal 2, but it's called Teleportal 2. Puzzle style game with a very similar looking claw that we all know and love. I would bet that this one does fairly well, since it's biting off of something that is a game that we've all played on Steam. One of the most popular puzzle games of all time. You tell me, you gonna try it? You guys have been awesome. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.